Hi, so I want to talk to you about self-doubt. It comes up a lot, and I myself actively work through it. A lot of folks reach out to me when they're struggling with it, and it can lead you to a lot of darkness, a lot of anxiety, and probably some symptoms of depression as well, depending on how you handle self-doubt. Excuse the sounds in the background. I need to be outside and I need to work, so I'm going to be outside working. So if you hear things, if a car rides past, just know that this is the best I can do, because it's like a balance of self-care and productivity today. All right, so when you're going through self-doubt, first of all, I'm going to talk about what you might be feeling, because you might not be able to identify, hey, this is self-doubt here. So I'll do that. And then I'll also make some suggestions, provide some insight that I use in my own life when it comes to self-doubt, okay? So for starters, if you're going through self-doubt, I want to comfort you in saying that everyone goes through it. No matter what level of success, we all encounter self-doubt. If you're just a baby in the game, whatever game that is, and trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out what your formula is, whether that's with a sport or a business, whatever, a relationship, you're worried about, can I do this? Is it worth it? You might even be considering, hey, maybe I shouldn't even try. I mean, what I got going on is okay. It's not what I want, but it's okay. I don't really want to be rejected or to fail or be embarrassed about it, you know? And then if you have accomplished something great, it's like the first movie, right? The sequel is always the scariest, whether it's a movie or a song, because now you have this standard that you have to surpass, and you don't even know if you can reach it again. You know what I'm saying? Your situation has changed since you made the initial product or reached the initial goal. And so that is a form of self-doubt. Can I reproduce this? Can I make something better? Is that possible? And then if you're used to like consistently having success, at a certain point, you know, your gifts and your talents shift, or the opportunities shift, or your resources shift, something changes, and then that creates self-doubt. So this is my headscarf, by the way. We all encounter it at different points, and it should be embraced as a natural part of the journey. And you shouldn't feel like less of a person because you encounter self-doubt, because it's assured to happen. It's a guarantee that at some point you'll doubt yourself. All right, so that's that. Number one, when dealing with self-doubt, I will challenge you, and I constantly challenge myself with this, to check in and see, is there something I need to forgive myself for? I'll repeat that. Do I need to forgive myself for something? Sometimes intermingled with self-doubt is guilt that you're harboring towards something, shame that you're harboring towards something, right? I'll give you an example. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you realize over the past, I don't know how long, you've gained, I don't know how much weight, right? And you're at the gym and you realize you're having a hard time running or building up your endurance or really getting this workout done. And even after you complete it, you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders and you just feel low, you know? But when you really get to thinking, if you allow yourself to, you realize that it's not just, you don't know if you can get the weight off of you. You're also worried about the fact that I let myself get this far. How did I do that? How did I let myself gain all of this weight? You know what I'm saying? Or how did I let myself make this mistake or stay in this relationship for this long period of time and be treated this way, right? So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That is a huge helper with self-doubt. It relieves some of the weight, you know. So now you just have to worry about the doubting yourself and not the condemning and mistreating and hating, or, you know, feeling embarrassed about yourself. I'm laughing because my grandma takes care of cats and they looking like, what you doing over there? What's up? They don't know if they want to walk over to me, play around and look at me, what? So it's just the cutest thing. So much love. So yeah, might be somebody behind me. Forgive yourself. The next thing is comfort yourself, affirm yourself. Affirmations are great when you're struggling with self-doubt. If you're really advanced in the game, you don't even have to go through this because you probably already have a dress for giving yourself. You probably already have affirmations in place. You just might be heading to a meeting or leaving a meeting and questioning how things went. And if you can see things through, I say change the channel when you can. Whenever you can redirect your thoughts with ease and not have to go through the heavier lifting because you've resolved those things, change the channel. You don't even need to go there with yourself, okay? I say that because when you allow yourself to get too deep, it can turn into depression all over again, and you've already learned how to not go there. Some folks haven't, and this video will help those folks a lot. But if you got the tools, change the channel, flip the switch, keep it pushing, focus on what's ahead of you. And that's what I'll also say for folks that are new to this. You figured out if you need to forgive yourself, you're working on that process. You've built up some affirmations to confirm that you can get through it. You also know what the goal is. I would say that. Remember what the goal is. Remember your why. And then the final thing I will include is recall some of those things that you've accomplished before. It may be as simple as graduating from high school or the 6th grade, because you have 6th grade graduations in some places because that's like middle school, right? I don't know. It might be a great artwork you never thought you could complete because it took so long. I don't know. It might be getting your first job that you didn't think you could secure. Anything that was difficult for you in the past, don't listen to what I said. If that stuff is something that you feel is very complicated and I downplayed that, I apologize. It's not my intention. And if that's stuff that you don't think is a big deal, I get that. But everyone's breakthroughs and successes look different, right? Think about what that is for you. What have you accomplished before that was difficult or that you didn't really know if you would do? You did that, you can do this. You did that and you can do this. I want to also challenge you to think about what that process looked like. Was it a straightforward, easygoing process? Most likely not, if it was difficult for you. Okay? So understand that as well. Understand that adversity is built into reaching any goal I really desire. You know, a lot of the times the things we desire are outside of our comfort zone and our hands in the deck resources. I'm saying hands in the deck because I do believe that God always builds you up and gives you what you need when you need it. But those aren't things that you automatically think is in your toolbox. I'll give you an example. So I have enough gas in my car to get to the store. I have enough money in my bank account to get something to eat. But if I just go out, flow with the flow of the day, I don't really know what's ahead of me, right? So I might come into a difficult situation and not have any resources, and boom, there's a phone call. Or boom, I know, okay, I'm gonna call my aunt. You know what I'm saying? So those are tools that we have when needed, but it wasn't in my initial toolbox when I left out of the house. When I left out of the house, I had enough gas and enough money for food. You get what I'm saying? That level of security and uncertainty is okay. It's also a part of the process, and I'm working on that as well. There they are, you can see them. They're messing around. So they do this weird thing about like watching my every move. They don't really want me to touch them, but they constantly come around me. They're very curious. Well, cats are curious, okay. But I just think it's so awesome. There were 5 of them, and now there's 2 left, and they like hang out and take naps and play all the time together. And I want to get them adopted so bad, because they're just like street cats, so that they have a home in the winter season. We can't take care of them. We feed them though. But aren't they just the cutest thing? They look out for each other. I hope they get adopted together. I don't know, my heart is just so full. It's so nice to witness love in its essence with so much going on in the world. And animals are a quick way to see it. You know, when you just look outside and see the animals engaging, it's simple, you know. It's no games, it's no need to use or misuse. It's just this natural exchange of energy and companionship, and it's so freaking refreshing to see. So refreshing to see. Okay, so sorry for the sidetracking. I hope this video was useful when you're struggling with self-doubt. I just want to affirm that, like, honestly, the fact that you're having self-doubt is something to be celebrated, because that means you're working towards something you truly desire. And the more you embrace this process, the freer you'll feel. And 2018, well, year 26 for me is all about freedom. And addressing whatever this goal is a part of your freedom. That's why it's such a big deal. No one gets intimidated or down or really puts a lot of thought into something that isn't of value for them in their lives. And so also consider this as like, it's confirmation that this is the next step, and I gotta lean into it. I gotta lean into the discomfort. I support you if you need to cry. That's just a release. You're releasing toxins, you're releasing feelings, you're releasing stuff that you could have just stuffed down inside of you and said, you know what, I don't want to address this, I'm good. And then it would have kept coming and coming and coming, or even worse, would have made you give up on whatever this important goal is. Again, I struggle with self-doubt, and if I don't change the channel, if I don't forgive myself within that, so if I don't coach myself up, if I don't reach out to resources, whether it's a therapist, a coach, or a loved one, or a book, or a podcast, right? If I don't do those things to build myself up, it can leave me in a dark place, a down place for a couple hours, or at this point a day is the longest I'll feel low. But I have a huge toolkit behind me, so, and a support system as well. So that's why that's so easy. Also, one last thing, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. And don't compare your path to other people's paths. Within my eating disorder, that was one of the things that made it very difficult. As I was on Instagram and I saw some of my peers consistently lose weight when I was gaining and losing weight, or people that I was inspired by, just seeing their success and their maintenance of it when I didn't know if I could do that. And so the ability to scroll and see these things that I'm struggling with and they're doing well at in an instant made it hard. So find it in you to be inspired by someone without comparing your journey to theirs. Liberating, so liberating, because you get the fuel and the energy of it, and that empowers you to transform your life. But you don't get the weight of the world of like, oh my goodness, they're doing it but I can't. You know, none of us put this content out there for you to feel less than. We want to empower you through doing what we need to do for ourselves. And well, I know that's my intention. I can't speak for everybody that's creating content or trying to influence. I know for me, for sure. So if you see anything of mine and it makes you feel less than, stop. Stop, affirm yourself. I want to commend you for even following, you know, my blog or my vlog or my YouTube or whatever you want to call this stuff, because this is work. Everything I talk about has like a deeper meaning to it, and it challenges you to reflect and to deal with things that aren't easy for people in day-to-day life. And the fact that you're willing to take that risk and sow into yourself in that way, you're going to be rewarded. You know, you're going to reward yourself, which is the best part about it. No one can take anything from you. You put the work in to get. And so you keep going. You keep working towards that goal. You purge those feelings of doubt. You shut them up. You tell them, you know what? Yeah, I made this mistake before and that got me off track, but I know that now. I know not to go left. I know to stay right, or I know to go straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gained this weight back, but I'm committed to improving my health. And I'm going to take so much good care of myself that weight can't even hold on to my body, because I'm releasing it, I'm purging it, and I'm putting in the work. And then when you get closer to your goal, sometimes that's when you get the most doubt. I get that a lot. And you just have to say, you know what? I'm probably afraid of what's on the other side of this. And I'm going to see it through because I deserve it. And I've worked a long time. I bust my butt to get here. And I'm going to see this through. And also, when you need to, pull God into it. You know, a lot of times what I'm doing, all the time what I'm doing is really to fulfill my purpose and to please Him. And I look at Him as a father and an authority figure in my life. And so I think about how my mom would feel if she told me to go do something and I didn't, because of an internal process I was having. And about how regardless of my internal process, if she asked me to do it, she needed it to be done. right? And that's a real life experience I can relate to. Sometimes that looks like being cussed out, and sometimes that looks like looking my mom in her face and seeing that she's disappointed in me, and knowing that I didn't push as hard as I could have. It's one thing if I try to do it and I failed. That's one thing. But to not even try to keep going because of my own internal process, that doesn't feel good. And God has gotten me through so much, even more than my own mom, and I love her to death. So I definitely don't want to lay him down. I definitely, want to honor him and fulfill as much as I can. Out of like love and appreciation, and knowing that there are many, many people, my mom included, that overcame things for me to be where I'm at and to be able to be healthy and happy and aspiring and be well all around. And so I want to do that for others. And 9 times out of 10, whether this is a weight loss goal, a overall health goal, a business goal, a spiritual goal, a relationship goal, you accomplishing it will positively impact the life of other people, the ones you love and the ones you don't know, and you want that deep down. You want to give back deep down. And this is just a moment, and you can make it just a moment with time. People used to tell me sometimes when I would catastrophize, which is when you let everything pile up and then everything is just all bad because you got all of these negative thoughts. Every failure is in your face, every disappointment is in your face. It's all you can think about in that moment, right? And my friend Sarah would be like, Bianca, it's just a moment. It's just a moment. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's the end of the world, essentially. But as you pull out those things such as regret, such as forgiveness, give that to yourself. It really is just this one situation right now. And yeah, you made some mistakes to get here, 9 times out of 10, depending on what it is, because I don't know the details. And that's okay. That's okay. They were all lessons learned, and now you know not exactly all the things to do, but kind of not to do that, at least, So always try to find the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you can't create it for yourself, pray, baby. Pray. I can't tell you how many times I cry in prayer and take a 20-minute nap and get up, and I'm a big girl ready to get it done. And if not, call someone. If I'm not coaching you, call someone. Have a therapist. Watch this video over and over again. Because it's here now. It's here. It's for you. And it's free. So with that, be encouraged. I hope this was helpful. Please comment. Please share it with somebody if you know that this is what they need. Please be compassionate. I don't know why I'm asking, but please be compassionate. Them cats got it on my heart. Bye.